surges aren't linked to Black Lives Matter protests. Did mixing a riot with a pandemic yield a super spreader event? Don't blame Black Lives Matter protests for the spike in coronavirus cases across the U.S. The Capitol insurrection seems to have caused a super spreader event. Blaming protesters for COVID-19 spread ignores the bigger threats to health. This is nuts. This is insane. Little evidence that protests spread coronavirus in the U.S. Possible virus exposure for lawmakers sheltering during riot. Riot. At least they're not calling them terrorists, right? Terrorists. That's what they were calling them at the, what was that, the select committee for the January 6th insurrectionists. Yeah, they made sure it was like right at the right time. They must have dropped some sort of like note to say, hey, stop calling them rioters, just straight up call them terrorists, because that's how people will react. They will react to that. Terrorists. Make sure you use that word 1,000,000 times. Oh, and you, second person who just went, slam that table. You let them know. You let them know how emotional you are. Oh, and the first guy to testify? Yeah, you really, I'm sure you wrote that emotional, well-written deposition. Yeah. Who's actually writing these things for them? Great acting. Fine. Great acting. But this is all theater. This is kabuki theater propaganda bullshit. That's what it is. And Daniel Hodges, oh, he was the worst one of all. Talk about a drama queen. Oh my God. And I tried so hard to sympathize with all of the officers. I really did. But Hodges was so unlikable. Oh my God. It's like he had a notebook or something and he wrote down all of the MAGA details. Gotta make sure. MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. Pink shirt, this woman, that Trump flag, Christian symbols. What's a Christian? I know what a Christian symbol is, but he literally said Christian flags. Flags. What's the Christian flag? Is it like a fish? Is it the Jesus fish? Is it a big cross? I don't think that there are any Christian flags. Or maybe there's a bunch of them, but I'm not aware of them being any sort of mainstream thing. And then when our Republican, when the two Republicans, one was Liz Cheney and the other one, oh, I'm trying to remember his name. I'll put it up in here somewhere. But anyway, the two Republicans that Nancy Pelosi picked because Jim Jordan, nope, sorry. Any of the ones that minority speaker, Kevin McCartney, he had, is it McCarthy or McCartney? The people that he nominated, Nancy Pelosi said no to. So he said, okay, well then you get nobody. None of the Republicans are going to have anything to do with this. Oh, except for the RINOs. The RINOs. This guy was something else. Okay, so we had the table slammer. He was one of the DC Capitol cops. The Capitol DC police. But the other Republican on the committee, oh my goodness, he was crying. Crying. Tears in his eyes. I sympathize. Oh, I do. I'm empathetic. I'm trying really hard to sympathize. But it's difficult when I think that the person that's speaking is a bold-faced liar. Liar. Oh, you got some boo-boos. You sure did, Mr. Hodges. You got boo-boos for sure. However, are you dead? Because Ashli Babbit is dead. She is dead because of your police force. Because of people like you. Somebody shot her and she did nothing to deserve it. That's the only murder that happened at the Capitol riot. What kind of insurrection is that? Well, one person was murdered. Oh, and they weren't doing anything wrong, really. But I mean, they were walking through a window, trespassing. Does that warrant death? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. And all these Capitol people that were arrested are still rotting in jail, by the way. I'll have another video that breaks some of them down so you know what's going on with them. I feel really bad for the Q shaman guy. Jacob, I'm terrible with names, but his name is Jacob. And he was in solitary confinement. That's torture. It's torture. I don't know how much more of the committee, the special committee, I can take. I don't know how much more theater and drama. This is all bullshit. And there's no cross-examination. And it's garbage. You're watching garbage. And I hope most people realize that. I hope most people see through this bullshit. Because that's what it is. It's bullshit. Alright. Sorry. I was a little angry during this whole thing. But I just, things are just getting weirder and weirder and crazier and crazier and contradictory, and nothing makes sense. You know what I mean? Well, that's it for today. Thanks for listening to me. I'll see you next time. God bless America. Bye.